5.13 focuses on one major issue with cities, and that is urban runoff. So I discussed it a little bit in the previous, I'm about to say episode, previous video. But as just to go over it one more time, urban runoff is the carrying of all the stuff in the streets into our waterways. So this is because our urban environment is impervious to water. So that includes things like pavements and roads and buildings. It obviously can't soak into those surfaces. And so that means less filtration of the water and the pollutants in that water. It also means that water, it's harder for groundwater to be recharged. So our aquifers get depleted more easily. So when we're designing cities or trying to improve issues with cities, trying to address urban runoff is a big thing. And so when looking at sustainability of, keeping things as they are for future generations, one of those is to decrease pollution of our water and our air and our soil, all these things. And a major issue with water pollution is urban runoff. So that's why we're focusing on this. So because the core issue is infiltration of water into the soil, to improve urban runoff, it's pretty obvious we need to increase water infiltration within the city. So infiltration, by the way, is the soaking of the water through the soil. So some ways that we can do that is through permeable pavement. So instead of like one flat sheet, using pavement that's kind of broken up into little pieces so that the water can still get through. I saw something a couple of years ago. I don't know how popular this is because I haven't been able to really find it, but it's like pavement that acts like a sponge, and so the water will just soak right through it. And so I haven't seen it, but if they could figure out how to make that in mass, that would be pretty interesting. Also, planting more trees is hugely beneficial because they can absorb a lot of that water. And also, along planting trees, you have more carbon dioxide absorption, so bonus. Increasing use of public transportation, because if you have less cars on the road, less cars being used, it means you have less motor oil, which is a major pollutant in urban runoff. Things that you can do are using fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. So, by the way, what this focuses on, instead of water infiltration, another way to decrease urban runoff is to decrease the things that get runoff into the water. So decreasing the pollution, essentially. So using fertilizers and pesticides sparingly so that when rains come, it's not washing away all these excess fertilizers and pesticides. Also things like sweeping your driveway instead of using a hose. Picking up after pets is a huge one. Those people, am I right? That don't pick up after their dog. Like, come on, it's your dog, your responsibility. They pooped, just pick it up. This is why you got a dog. Anyways. Moving on. Disposing of your chemicals properly. So, cities usually have programs that are set up for this. Sometimes they'll have like a whole day of like, bring us all your hazardous waste, all your paint and all your chemicals, all the soaps and stuff that you can't use anymore or don't want to use anymore. Don't just pour them down the sink. Don't just dump them outside. Like, bring them to a professional. Please. Also using car washes, because car washes can recycle their water versus, doing it yourself. Like, all that water then just goes out into the ground and into the streets. Plus, bonus, something you ain't gotta do. And that is Americans' favorite thing. Alright, in summary, just describe methods for mitigating problems related to urban runoff.